Hey Eugenia, what is up? It's Dustin, and I'm here again with another video for you. And yeah, the last video I filmed was, the Redwood video at late October, and here we are in late November. So yeah, today I kind of just thinking a lot about what videos to do, and gosh, I came up with, I've never talked about airplanes, one of my favorite things in the world. So thought I would probably talk about airplanes this time. I wanted to show you some really cool stuff, air shows that I've gone to, and jets that I love. And I have one really beautiful model jet that I really love too, so I want to show you that. But yeah, this video is probably going to be mostly about military jets, so like fighter jets and stuff like that, because I'm like huge into those. I love all planes. I love like commercial jets, the big ones and everything, passenger planes, cargo planes and everything. So this time I'm going to focus on the military jets. So yeah, I want to tell you about my favorite ones and the air shows that I've been to. And I got pictures that I've taken from my first air show I've been to and the last one I've been to. I want to go again, of course, eventually. But so yeah, I want to start off showing you first my favorite plane. So my favorite fighter jet, bam, as you can see here, is the F-16. The F-16 has always been my favorite ever since the 80s. F-16 has actually been around since 1978. It went into service. So yeah, so it was still a pretty new jet in the 80s, only a few years old. So, and they still fly the F-16. I love this plane so much. I think it's just beautiful. It's a single engine supersonic jet, so it can break the sound barrier. I think its max is Mach 1.2. So yeah, and it can go up to 60,000 feet, no problem. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's a single seat and a dual seat jet. I love both versions, but I just think the design is gorgeous on the F-16. It's nicknamed the Viper because when it comes in for a landing, I think you can see on one of these pictures, the first picture, it looks like the hood of a Viper or whatever, when it's on approach. So they nicknamed it the Viper. So yeah. It's awesome. I just love it. If I was a fighter pilot, this would be the jet I would pick #1 out of any jet. So, so yeah. And the F-16, it can do over 9 Gs you can pull in an F-16. So, just standing here, filming this video, I'm pulling 1 G. So that's 1 times gravity. So my weight is like 160 pounds. So when I'm pulling 1 Gs, I'm 160 pounds just standing here. If I pull 2 Gs, that's double my weight. So that would be 520 pounds, double my weight. So yeah, every G you pull, you double your weight. So yeah, these fighter pilots, if they pull 8 to 9 Gs, they're doing 8 to 9 times their body weight. So it's extreme physical exertion on the body when you're pulling Gs in one of these aircraft. It takes a special person. You got to do special kinds of breathing when you're in the cockpit. You're clenching certain muscles down here in your abdomen in order to keep the blood from rushing down to your feet and passing out. So they got to pump the blood back up into their head so they don't black out when they're pulling all these Gs in these aircraft. So yeah, I've watched like millions of documentaries on these jets. So but yeah, so F-16, all-time favorite. It's beautiful. The Viper, I love it so much. And you can see here on this one, these are U.S. Air Force Thunderbird F-16s. So the Thunderbirds are the U.S. Air Force flight demonstration team. I love the Thunderbirds. I've seen them twice actually. Once when I was a kid, which I'm going to show you next. I have old photos from when I first saw them in 1988, I think, when I was like 7. And then I saw them again in 2000 when I graduated high school. So yeah, totally awesome. So yeah, beautiful U.S. Air Force Thunderbird, 2 F-16s flying. Their paint scheme is a white paint scheme, and on the bottom it's more of a Native American type of totem paint scheme. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a really dark navy blue or something, but it's a Native American painting style, so they kind of honor Native Americans with the paint scheme on these demonstration jets for the F-16. So yeah, so here we are. First picture, 1988 summer. You can see all 6 of these F-16s. This is the Thunderbirds. This is before they took off to do their flight demonstration for everyone. The precision of these pilots is unreal. I mean, they get within inches of each other when they're flying so close. It is some of the most dangerous flying in the world. But I mean, the precision of these pilots is unmatched. It's just unreal. Same with the Navy Blue Angels, which I'll show you pictures after this. But the Thunderbirds and the Blue Angels are just unbelievable precision flying. They're so close together. They always follow the flight leader. The flight leader is in the number 1 jet out front. So the flight leader, all the 5 other aircraft follow what he's doing when they're in formation and everything. But they do break off and do their own kind of formation maneuvers as duals and triples. But when they're flying all 6 in a diamond, yeah, unbelievable flying. So, and here you can see a picture. Here's 5 of them in a formation here. Yeah, this is one of their maneuvers. Starting to go ballistic. Ballistic is kind of when you go vertical almost and you go straight up. So yeah, you can kind of see the paint scheme on the bottom. It's kind of hard to make out, but yeah, it's a Native American totem kind of theme. It might be a raven or something. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, you might be able to see it a little bit there. And here you can see in this picture, this is one F-16. He's coming low and fast, and then he kind of does a maneuver where he comes up like this, and he does kind of like a 90-degree turn, so you can see the top of the jet. So that's the F-16 angling to the left, banking left, just kind of, yeah, doing a flyby there. So yeah, the top of the jet, just a really beautiful white. Love the paint scheme of that. It's looks amazing. So I'm just going, I'm putting them on screen, but this book right here, this is the first photo book I ever got. My mom got it for me in 1984 when I was 3 years old. So this is a very, very old little book that I've kept in my dresser for a long time, and this has my first air show pictures in it. So I'm always very careful with this book. And here you can see after the jets got done flying, they landed and they're taxiing back in. So yeah, a lot of the guys on the ground crew stand there. They do an impeccable job with the way they present the aircraft and the movements that they make. I don't know, I can't describe it. I'd have to show you a video of how they perform everything. It's just precision. The ground crew, you know, doing the hand signals and everything with the pilots and the jets, it's all precision. So they're waiting for the jets to taxi in where they're standing, and so that the pilots know where to park the aircraft and everything. So this is them taxiing back in. So yeah. And that day I was walking around and I was looking at all the different static displays, because they have aircraft on static display. And this is a picture of a F-15A. So all these were taking at Kingsley Field. Kingsley Field is the Air National Guard base that's really close to me. So Kingsley Field is stationed in Klamath Falls. That's where their air base is, and it's only an hour east of me. It's a really short drive. I would actually go over a lot of times when I was feeling better to watch the jets take off and land and do their maneuvering stuff over there, because they fly every day. You know, they're Air National Guard. They protect our airspace, you know, for to keep the security here in the United States clear of any, you know, any problems, you know, any threats that might come towards America. The Air National Guard is the first to respond and be on the scene to intercept any bad aircraft or anything. So yeah, I love the Air National Guard. They're my favorite. They're kind of a derivative of the Air Force. So, but yeah, this is the F-15. This is a very early F-15A version. They fly a lot more newer, updated F-15C and D version now, but this is pretty much what the jets look like that they still fly. And they have a new one coming, the F-15EX, which is an extremely advanced version of this jet that you're seeing here. So that's coming in about a year. They're transitioning to that new jet. So yeah, love the F-15, beautiful. I love them all. It's hard to pick, but yeah, the F-15 is beautiful too. So took a picture of that. And then back in the 80s, oh my God, the movie Top Gun with Tom Cruise. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Eugenia, but it's like one of my favorite movies of all time, because it's all combat flying with these fighter jets and everything. When that movie came out in 1986, I was 5 years old. I still remember going to the theater to see it because my dad's like, yeah, we're going to see Top Gun. And I'm like, Top Gun? I'm like, what's that? Is that like someone that like shoots a gun the best or something? And my dad's like, well, kind of, not really. He's like, you'll see when you see the movie. So when we went, it's basically about Navy fighter pilots flying jets off of aircraft carriers. And the jet here that I'm showing you, that I took a picture of at this air show, that's an F-14 Tomcat. Just a beautiful jet. I love the F-14 Tomcat. It's retired now, they don't fly it anymore. But yeah, this is the jet that was in the movie Top Gun that the pilots were flying off of aircraft carriers. And I was obsessed with this jet forever. I still think it's amazing, even though it's retired. But yeah, that movie just, when I was 5, that sparked my interest in aviation like crazy. I mean, I was just started to be like aviation obsessed after that. So when I saw this F-14 at my first air show, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, this is the Top Gun jet. I'm like, oh, this is so amazing. This is the jet that flew in the movie and everything. And it's not the exact one, but it's an F-14 Tomcat, which was flying in the movie a lot. So I don't know. I just love 80s everything. And Top Gun was like the epitome of the 80s and the jets. And they had the 80s music. And they had the romance between the pilot and, you know, the girl who they meet, you know, while they're at Top Gun. Because let me tell you real quick, Top Gun is actually it's a training school. It's an elite training school for Navy fighter pilots. Other fighter pilots from other branches can attend too, but it's mainly for Navy pilots. So, and Top Gun at the time was at Naval Air Station Miramar, which is in San Diego, and I've been there several times because, like I've told you, Eugenia, I have family that lives in the San Diego area, and many times that I've been there, and I've actually had to work down there when I was working for a telecommunications company. I would go to Miramar Naval Air Station where they filmed Top Gun, and the jets are there taking off and everything. Oh God, I just love it. Oh man, Miramar Naval Air Station. So that's where it was filmed in the movie. That's where these jets were taking off. I've been there in real life. several times. It's awesome, just awesome. And I've been to Hard Rock Cafe in San Diego that had Maverick's helmet. Maverick was the main character in the movie that Tom Cruise played. He played fighter pilot Maverick, and they had his flight helmet that they used in the movie at Hard Rock, and I've seen it and I've taken pictures of it. I don't know where the pictures are, but yeah. So yeah, I've done all that. So this jet is just like, yeah, means a lot to me. So when I saw this when I was 7, I'm like, oh my God, this is the Top Gun jet. So yeah, that is the first air show, and I wanted to show you. I've been to many air shows. Every year they would have an air show here at Medford Airport. They don't do it anymore, unfortunately. I don't know why. I would look forward to that every summer, but yeah, we would always have an awesome air show here with all these military jets. They'd fly in, and I'd look forward to it every year, you know. And when I was little, the jet noise, because those fighter jets are loud, it would actually scare me. Even though I loved it, I'm like, oh God, they're going to be loud and they're going to do a flyby and just go whoosh, and it's going to scare me, you know. But I love it. It's cool anyway. So, I mean, I was little, so. Let me show you this picture. This is a C5 Galaxy. They still fly these. This is an early variant of the C5 Galaxy. It's a huge transport plane. It's as big as a 747 jumbo jet. It's just huge. It might be a little bigger actually, but every year when I'd go to the air show, this plane would be there, and I was obsessed with this because it's a huge cargo transport plane. And I don't know, it's one of my favorite planes. It's not a fighter jet, but I love cargo planes, and this is one of my favorite Air Force cargo planes. So it's huge. It would fly in every year for the air show, and I'd be so excited to go and see it because you can go inside the jets and go up to the cockpit, and I'd go into the cockpit. You can talk to the guys there, like the pilots and the crew chief that works inside, you know, the aircraft and everything else. And yeah, so you would see the big tail when I'd pull up to the airport, and I'd see the big tail of the C5 Galaxy. I'm like, the C5 is here. See, there's the tail. And when we'd go through the gates into the airport, I'd run to the C5 to go inside and everything. So yeah, I just had to show you that picture. I didn't take this picture. This is just one I found online. And the F-16s in the beginning of the video, I didn't take those either. Those first 3 photos I also found online, but all the ones I showed you at the air show, those ones I took when I was a little kid. So yeah, I want to show you one last thing, and that's the last air show I went to with the Navy Blue Angels. So the last air show I went to was in 2009, and that's when I was, what, 28? Yeah, I was 28 years old, because I'm 39 now. So yeah, that was the last air show I went to. That's when I started to get real sick, around 2008, early 2009. So this is the last air show I was able to go to. Air shows can be pretty stimulating. You're outside in a lot of heat, a lot of sun, a lot of people, and a lot of jet noise. So I took pictures with my 35mm camera. So yeah, I wanted to show you these. This is when I saw the Blue Angels, the Navy Blue Angels. They fly the F-18 Hornet, and they're the Navy's flight demonstration team, and they are precision, amazing flying too. I went with my dad, and we went to Redding Airport. Redding, California is about 2.5 hours south of me. It's on the way to Sacramento. So yeah, and yeah, it was really hot, but it was amazing. So I got sunburned, unfortunately. So yeah, getting to the airport, walking around. First picture here. This is an A-10 Warthog. The A-10 is an Air Force jet, and it is an attack jet used for air-to-ground and close air support to protect troops on the ground. So It's not supersonic, it's a lot slower jet, but it is absolutely beautiful. I love the A10. Yeah, it's just an amazing, beautiful jet, and I love the sound. There's no sound like an A10 when it flies past you. It just has a screaming sound. It's amazing. So I had to get a picture of the A10 there with the canopy up. Yeah, it's a straight-winged aircraft, so I think its max speed is only like 460 miles per hour. It can't go supersonic like these other jets, so. But it's made for extreme maneuverability. The A10 can maneuver like unreal. So it has unbelievable maneuvering, more than any other plane. So, and then the next picture, this is an F-18 Super Hornet. The Blue Angels, they fly legacy first generation F-18 Hornets, the C&D model. This is an F-18 Super Hornet, which is an advanced variant they released in 2000 that is upgraded and bigger. And this is an F-18F model. So yeah, beautiful. Love the Hornet. So I had to take a picture of that. And yeah, and that's Navy jets. So they fly these off of aircraft carriers. So, which I've been on. I love aircraft carriers. So maybe I'll tell you about that in another video, about the aircraft carrier I went on. So, and the next picture, this is a C-17. I had to take a picture of this. You can see all the people by it. C-17s are huge Air Force cargo planes. I love them. They're beautiful. They're not quite as big as the C-5 Galaxy I showed you before, but they're a lot newer type of transport plane. They're just beautiful. I love them. But everybody is taking refuge under the wings because there's a lot of shade under those huge wings. So everyone's sitting there trying to stay in the shade, out of the sun, to watch the air show. So yeah, I had to get a shot of that. And yeah, this first shot, this is just an F-16 doing a flight demonstration. I was excited to see that they were doing a F-16 flight demo that day. So he's just banking. He's coming in and he's banking right. So you see the underside of the plane, and he's flying away from the crowd. So yeah, supersonic. That's my F-16. I just love it. It's just such a pretty jet. And the next one is, yeah, F-16. It's flying with, it looks like, I think that's a P-40 Warhawk. Those flew during World War II in the early 40s. So they're kind of doing a little heritage commemorative flight with the P-40 Warhawk flying with the F-16 behind it. So they're kind of flying in formation. So I think it's cool when they do those heritage flights with the old fighter aircraft and the new fighter jet. So yeah, had to snap pictures of that. And then near the end of the air show is when the flight demonstration team that sponsors the air show does their thing. So this is the Blue Angels F-18s number 1 and number 2 jet taxiing out to the runway to take off. So the number 1 jet is always the flight commander. So he's the commander of the squadron and they follow him. So yeah, it's a beautiful paint scheme. I love the gold with that dark, beautiful blue. Just amazing. So, and they still fly the F-18. So, and when they all 6 took off, this is 4 of them doing a pass by. So they're doing a flyby and a diamond formation. So they are in this picture within inches of each other on the wing. If one of those wings bump, the plane could go out of control and crash. It is unbelievable flying what these pilots do. So I can't imagine being that gifted to be able to fly like this. So yeah, it's a beautiful diamond flyby formation in that one. And then here's all oh, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, okay, so here's all 6 of the jets. They came into kind of a delta configuration. A delta is like shaped like this, like a triangle. So they were flying in a delta configuration, and then they all split off in different directions, going ballistic in different ways. So that's them with their smoke on, going out from the delta configuration, flying up. So thought that's a really cool shot. And this is 5 of the jets. When they do a loop with the smoke on in formation, this is them doing a loop and coming back down from the loop, and they're finishing that maneuver. So with the smoke on, so another sweet shot there. I think I got some pretty good ones. This next one I really like. This is again, all 6 of them were in a delta configuration, and they went up. They started to go ballistic, and they split apart. And they all started to do barrel rolls when the aircraft rotates 360 degrees is a barrel roll. And they got the smoke on, so this is them doing that, and they're just, yeah, beautiful. I thought that was a pretty good shot. So, and then this one is just before they're coming in to land. This is 2 of the F-18s. In a side-by-side tandem configuration. They're doing probably a overhead brake. An overhead brake is when 2 or more jets come in a configuration, flying in formation, and they'll come in. Yeah, the front aircraft will break off, and after it does an overhead pass, the first aircraft will break off and come around in for final approach into landing, and then the next aircraft will keep flying for another 2 or 3 seconds, and it will do a break off and come around and do final approach for landing. And that's usually how military jets come in for landing. So that's just these 2 aircraft doing that final maneuver before coming in on a short final to land the aircraft. So yeah. And these last 2 pictures are when the jets were parked. So yeah, this first one, this is just after the air show when the jets are parked on the ramp at the airport, and I was there at the chain link fence taking pictures of them all parked. They look beautiful. They actually, the F-18 Hornet actually looks like a Hornet, like a, you know, the bee, the Hornet bee. It does kind of look like a actual insect hornet, I think. So so yeah, they're parked, and I had to get this last shot of this F-18 parked. This is a F-18D. This is the 2-seater version. Yeah, it just looks beautiful parked there. Oh my gosh, this is my dad's favorite plane, the F-18. So so yeah. And this last picture is just me and my dad. Someone took a picture of me and him at the end of the air show. You can see I'm dark and sunburned. And yeah, we were exhausted. We sweated so bad. It was so hot that day, but it was worth it, you know. It's a great thing to do with my dad, you know, and I was really happy to get to do that. So I want to go to another air show so bad. And lastly, I wanted to show you this. I'll have just few more things. This will be a little longer video, so hope that's okay, Eugenia. But oh. So lastly, I want to show you my model here. These models are expensive. This is by Hobby Master. This is die cast. These are die cast metal models. There's a few plastic pieces on it, but they are meticulously painted and detailed. These can cost $100 or more per model. I want to get more of these. They're just so beautiful. This is an F-16 model. So you can see the top of the F-16. Just beautiful jet. So yeah, I had to get the F-16 for my first model. Got this a few years ago. And yeah, here's the underside. The F-16. Really beautiful model. I don't know if you can see it, how well you can see it here. But yeah. Yeah, this is this F-16 model's paint scheme. This is an F-16C, and it is the Edwards Test and Training F-16. So it's a white paint scheme with looks like a red-orange accent colors. So this they fly at Edwards Air Force Base to train test pilots and Air Force pilots that do weapons testing, avionics testing for cockpit instrumentation and stuff like that. They do a lot of different kind of experimental prototype testing with these kind of F-16s at Edwards Air Force Base. Edwards Air Force Base is my favorite Air Force base ever. It's in the Mojave Desert, just north of Burbank, Glendale area, in the San Fernando Valley. So it's only about, I don't know, 25 miles north of Burbank, Glendale in San Fernando Valley in the desert there. And they do all kinds of different military aircraft, fighter jet, stealth jets, all kinds of prototype flying at there at that airport, so, or that Air Force base. So yeah, that's there in the beautiful Mojave Desert, which I love Mojave Desert. It's right by Death Valley National Park. So yeah, these special Edwards F-16s fly out there doing all kinds of different experimental flying and stuff. So this is a hard one to find, so when I saw this, I jumped on it and I got this one first. I want to get others, but this is the first one I got, so yeah. So yeah, this is the video about jets and aviation and all of my favorite things about these military jets and fighter jets. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing that, Eugenia. I'm not sure how much you're into airplanes or anything like that. I'm not sure if you've been to an air show before. I want to ask you if you've been to an air show. So yeah, air shows are so fun. They're just amazing. I'd love to go for a ride in one of these jets, because sometimes you can get lucky enough to go for a ride in one of these fighter jets, and oh my gosh, that would be amazing. But today is a very icy, cold, foggy day. Looks like the mountain is just starting to be seen from the fog, because it's been very foggy here. Let me show you real quick. So yeah, here's the view from my window, which you've seen before in my other videos. And yeah, it looks like the mist is just starting to break there on the mountain. So looking real pretty. I love when the mountains poke through the beautiful clouds and fog. Looks really cool. So one last thing, I just wanted to show you real quick my Christmas tree and village that I have set up. So yeah, I'm gonna show you that real quick. So let me head downstairs. So I have it all on and everything, so looks pretty cool. I'm really happy with it. So all right, you can see the glow. So here is my tree. And here's my little village around the tree. I love these little villages. Got all the little people in the winter wonderland. This year I have the ice skating rink in by the bridge and everything. I didn't have that last year. I couldn't find it, but got it now. So yeah, that one building, I got to get a light for it. That one building doesn't have a light in it right now, so. But yeah, that's my little village and Christmas tree. So, and I got a new star at the top this year. My mom got me a star for the top of my tree. So yeah, that is my Christmas tree. I gotta put more decorations up. So I hope you like the video, Eugenia. So yeah, this was a fun one to do. I could talk about aircraft all day long. I mean, it's like one of my favorite things in the world. So yeah, this is fun to make, and maybe I can make some more aircraft videos because I have more to talk about. So one of my favorite subjects besides nature and fantasy stuff. So there's just too many cool things, just too many. So anyway, hope you liked the video, sweetheart, and there's some kisses. And there's another one, and I am sending you hugs as well. So I hope you're having a good day or a good night, and yeah. So last night I sent you that link for the new PS5 at Kohl's. So hopefully you're able to get a PS5 for your family member. So when I tried to add it to cart, it let me add it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to send the link to Eugenia. She might be able to get one tonight. So hopefully you got one. So anyway, I love you. And yeah, Melody of Memory is awesome. Really, really, really cool. I'd love to play it with you. So anyway, I'll see you in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye.